Hi guys, this is Max. And before we're going to get into Virginia's gubernatorial election, I want to send a quick shout out to the first commenter during my California recall election video. It really means a lot to me, and I just want you guys to know that everybody who watches my videos, this channel is basically the biggest thing that I'm doing right now apart from school, and I'm very glad for every single one who sticks through my content, alright? Now, let's get straight to it. The 2021 Virginia gubernatorial election will feature Terry McAuliffe, the Democratic nominee and a former governor, and Glenn Youngkin, who's a political outsider. More on these two candidates in a second. Now, let's first look on the primaries. Terry McAuliffe was pretty much unopposed in his primary. He consistently led the polls, and he won with a margin of at least 43%. So that's pretty good. And Glenn Youngkin didn't win a single primary. The Republicans held a state convention in which single candidates ran and one after another got eliminated. Had the Republicans held an actual primary, it's pretty likely that Amanda Chase would have won, who was essentially a Marjorie Taylor Greene version in the state of Virginia, totally unelectable, and I believe she even supported the Donald Trump declaring martial law in order to quote unquote stop the steal. Anyway, she's off the table now. It's gonna be Youngkin versus McAuliffe. And as of right now, Yonkan is ahead in the polls, which is pretty surprising. However, the only polls that showed him ahead were the ones by WPA Intelligence, which is a Republican internal, so take all of this with a grain of salt. And to be completely honest, I also do believe that in the end McAuliffe will pull a victory, mostly because he's the former governor, he has the name recognition, while Yonkan is a fairly new character on the political scene. However, as of right now, ever anything would still be possible. The New Jersey governor election, however, which we'll cover in a separate video, won't be that competitive. It's pretty likely that Phil Murphy will just cruise to re-election quite easily. And also right now with the floods, I believe New Jersey residents have bigger things to worry about than what little things their governor might have done wrong in the past. Now, what do you believe? Do you believe that Terry McAuliffe or that Glenn Youngkin is going to win? McAuliffe consistently led all the polls, even the Republican internal ones. However, Youngkin seems to have caught up as of late. Yeah, well, actually, that's everything to be said about this race. But there's one more thing about Virginia, which is the Attorney General race. I know it actually isn't too interesting, but still briefly want to touch upon it. Yeah, so here we got it. This might be another one which could be competitive because I don't think that there's any significant polling in here. Oh, there is. This one seems to be led by the Republican as of right now. And if he pulls up an offset, which again, you got to take these polls with a grain of salt, but if Republicans were to win or even get close to winning both of these races, it would be a pretty strong signal for the midterm elections. If Democrats lose them, it would be pretty bad for them. And I think a lot of this has simply to do with Joe Biden's approval rating, because we can all agree that in a normal year where the national environment is 50-50, Democrats would win both of these races quite handily. But this is not a normal year. Biden's approval is pretty bad right now. It's in the mid 40s, and he's dragging down other Democrats. It was the exact same thing with Donald Trump. There were many Republicans who faced very close races in pretty safe Republican districts during House special elections in 2017 and 2018. And we could see the same thing right now. We could see the same thing that happened in 2009 with the Virginia governor election. It was a pretty big victory for the Republicans. And if the Democrats want to prevent a disaster, like the Tea Party from recurring in 2022, they'd have to get their act together. Yeah. So now, this is my take on the two elections. I am not entirely sure how they'll eventually end up going, but as of right now, I think I think Mcauliffe and Herring, who's the Democrat candidate for Attorney General, are slightly favored to win, even though they're behind in the polls, simply because lots of undecideds could break towards the more known candidates when the election takes place. This is it, guys. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you liked it very well, I'd bigly appreciate a subscription. Other than that, write down your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.